Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to be taking a first look at Mythic Dexter, who again was another character that came in with the Conquest update. He was available in the museum as part of your Mythic tokens, but you could get a second one of him in other parts of the game, including the Conquest launch event, so you could decide to take him to tier 5 if you so wished. On the right hand side we can see visually he is part of the prison. I'm getting that from the orange trousers. Someone who's really in depth with the comics will tell me where he's from, but I'm pretty sure he's part of the prison from what I remember. And he doesn't have an attached weapon from what we can see, so that's the visuals we're getting so far. He has got like a do-rag on, glasses. He's trying to remain cool. He's trying to be cool. But it's only so cool you can be in prison gear. That's the way it goes. But on the left-hand side, his art does look really brutal. It looks really great. I like this a lot. He's obviously destroying a walker in the art. And the weapon he has in his hands is effectively an attached weapon. I guess that's... I'm not really sure what that is. It's like concrete on the end of like a bar, basically. He's ripped that out of a wall or something. So like support structure. Yeah, I can't remember the wording for that. I can't remember the wording for that. There is a wording. It's in so many games, I just can't remember. If we check out his stats as a tier 5, maxed out, level 600, gold mythic character, he has 14,268 attack, 13,149 defense, 13,365 HP. He is a strong character, considered a damage dealer, mythic character of course, and his allegiance, he is a member of the Brutes, so obviously looking brutal makes a lot of sense here. If we check out his rush, it is called 2 birds 1 stone. It is a 66 AP cost rush, so not super fast. Does generally mean that he's mainly going to be an attack team character here. Deal 400% damage to one enemy and an extra 200%, which will be 600% total, if that enemy is below 15% HP. This is an extremely strange rush. Obviously it's just quite basic. Single target, heavy hit. The 400% is nice. That is a lot of damage with mythic characters. His attack stat is the highest stat. You can raise that nice and high. One enemy below 15% would take extra damage. I mean, I'm guessing most characters would get taken out by this regardless. 400% at 15% HP, but I guess that, you know, it seems a bit overkill. However, it may play into other parts of his kit, and looking forward on the right hand side you could probably see that it does. Okay, so we are attacking now, and as you can see there is someone who is below 15% of their max HP. It is Glenn on the defense team, and we have got Dexter who's going to do trait damage here. This is going to be 600% rush on trait damage, which is going to be extremely powerful. If we do the rush, we are going to take Glenn out, but obviously because of that specialist skill, which you probably did see, which was Waste Not, the extra damage on top is going to go to an adjacent character. So this is where this does obviously play into the rest of its kit, and it can potentially take down 2 with that extremely heavy hitting rush. The only downside here is there is pretty much nothing else that happens with this rush. He just smashes one person in the head, basically. That's just what he does. Really heavy hit, but that's it. Nothing else. So you can maybe just say that he is an extremely, you know, hard-hitting character, but the potential of him taking out 2 characters is pretty high. The only problem you've got is you do need one 8% weapon to get this guy to rush naturally on turn 3 on attack, because a basic attack is 30 max AP on an attack team, and then if he has a turn 2 signature move, it would be 65 AP that he'd be sitting on. You'd either have to rely on him being attacked once or that 8% AP. And going across to that signature move, he does indeed have a turn 2 signature move, so that's not a problem. It is called Battle Cry. That initial cooldown of turn 2, like I said, cooldown of 3, number of uses 999, attack an enemy for 150% damage. This character gets 35% attack for 2 turns, so this plays into that rush quite nicely. It's going to enhance that damage even further. It does obviously mean that if you do attack someone with the 15% or lower HP, that's going to drastically increase the kind of damage that that rush can do. Okay, so we are on turn 2 here. You can see that Dexter got that 30 AP off his first turn basic attack with a huge AP on attack weapon. I don't have any 8% weapons this time around. This is just to show you how it works with the AP gain and why you definitely need one 8% weapon. I'm going to target Glenn again, obviously. Trait damage is generally the best way to go. We are going to do that, that signature move. Huge amounts of damage. It can crit like we just did. But you can see that Dexter there is sitting on 65 AP. He needs one more AP to get a natural turn 3 rush. Definitely beneficial to have that 8% weapon on attack team if you want him to do that. But you can see he can reduce someone's HP down to that, close to taken out situation. You can then potentially, neutralize them. In this case, we will take them out, but you can potentially neutralize them to stop them from rushing. And then you can follow up with a rush on that character the next turn to take out 2 characters. And if you do it on the right character, for instance, a character that has lower defense, that waste not damage is going to be massively increased because it's based on the character that you focus on the rush. And then with that 35% attack boost you're getting from the signature move, again, even more. So his signature move actually works really nicely, does enhance that rush heavily, and it does a lot of damage. If you gear him out to do a little bit of crit damage, 1535 in there, could be really devastating. That was 8k damage against a Glenn on a defense team. He had the defense leader, he was getting defense buffs, but that's what trait damage is like. So obviously trait damage is generally the way to go with these sort of things to get the best out of them. Now move across to Dexter's Mythic Abilities. This is to see how much further his rush and signature move can be enhanced offensively, because this guy is definitely an attack team character from what I'm seeing. Dexter's Mythic Abilities, he gets agility because he is a damage dealer. This is going to help with his signature move, 10% increase in basic attack damage. Wall Breaker, when attacking targets with the tank roll, 20% attack. This is actually really interesting. He's going to do more damage against tanks. And obviously if you get tanks to very low HP, the waste not damage will still happen. It won't be as good because the reductions are going to be quite heavier, but that's a 20% attack boost on top of any attack boost he's already getting. For instance, from his signature move. Impair and Taunt resistance. He gets 10% Impair and Taunt resistance base. These obviously stack with mods, so if you went for a mod and managed to get 85% mod maxed out on a platinum mod, he would have 95% resist. Really, really powerful here. And even if he doesn't have any mods, you're just going to get every now and again 1 in 10 chance that you're going to resist an impair and a taunt, which is just a nice little bonus on top in my opinion. The last one, Thrill of the Kill. When attacking, reduce any counter damage by 25%. That I like a lot more than another character we've seen, which is Sandy, where she has a chance to reduce it to 0. This is a guaranteed reduction of him reducing it by 25% every single time. So I like that quite a lot. It's mainly going to work with his signature move and basic attacks with things like mods, but there are going to be characters that have this on their passives where they do reflect even rush damage, so it's going to be quite useful to have Dexter against those sort of characters. So this is just to show you how it's going to work against the character that is a tank. If we just defend on the other 2 characters, when I do a basic attack here, we could see him do a stun on attack. He would obviously get self-healed, but what should happen is he should do 20% extra damage because Ezekiel is a tank. He should do 10% extra damage just because he's a damage dealer, and also he should potentially do 25% reduction in reflect damage. I think it's just going to pop up regardless if he takes reflect or not. We'll see what happens. Reduce counter attack damage, 20% attack because of the tank, and then the 10% on top as well. I hopefully will just show you this as slowed down or a screenshot of it just so you can sort of see the buffs that happen. These are going to happen every time. It will also happen when he does his signature move. As you can see, stunned, he gets 5 things happen. There's a lot of potential with Dexter for a lot of things to go off when he does his basic attacks and signature moves. He's getting a lot of sort of boosts to his attack potential. Obviously, we got fortunate there where we did stun Ezekiel. Otherwise, he would have been able to rush. But that's also why you take other characters in your attack teams that also have control, be it on their weapons, specialist skills, signature moves, or rushes. And if you know how Ezekiel works, he does do a 15% damage reduction to damage dealers. And Dexter, to a certain extent, will counter that with his passive abilities and obviously with his signature move giving him attack buffs. So he kind of is an individual solo counter to Ezekiel. He does trait damage. He's obviously going to counter parts of his kit. So Dexter's in the game already, ready to be used against characters like Ezekiel. Now I've shown you this already and I've shown you how it works, but I'm just going to go through it. Specialist skill Waste Not. When a specialist takes out an enemy with an attack or adrenaline rush, any excess damage is dealt to one adjacent target. Now, it does say attack or adrenaline rush. It doesn't say signature move in here, so it might just need to be updated. I could potentially just quickly test out and see if that works. But you saw how it works. If someone's very low HP and you get a big rush off, especially with how that rush works, the excess damage will go to an adjacent target and potentially just take them out as well. So potentially a 2-character takedown could be very, very good. I think Waste Not on defense teams can be extremely powerful, but I don't know if Dexter can really be geared to work on defense very well. But let's check out if that signature move procs Waste Not as well. And there is an extremely easy way to do this. We take a very low level character in there. If we take him out with the signature move, Zeke should take some damage here. And it is going to be the way it goes. As you saw, Zeke just took 350k damage because of that little amount of damage that I did to the 1-star. The stats of the character you're focusing will enhance the damage that Waste Not does. So potential really tanky characters around someone who's weak defensively can get absolutely destroyed. But that is indeed good news that it does work with signature moves. I didn't expect anything less, honestly. I guess it just sees the signature moves as attacks. This may be updated in the text, but it works as I assume it should anyway. Now, if we go across to his weapon, like I said in the intro, he has got a default weapon, so you can put whatever weapon you want in his hands. Remembering that he will need one 8% weapon on the team, even if he has a huge bonus to AP when attacking. I know a lot of people have the very large 1535 stun on attack katanas. That'll work in his hands as well, but again, still needs that 8%. So I like Dexter, but I don't really think his time is now. I think in the future, once a lot of people get a bit more built up mythic teams, he's going to work extremely well in a full strong attack team, you know, with strong buffs, with lots of other strong characters in there for the damage dealing, for the control. Characters like Wayland, Negan as a leader, a command if one comes out. It could be very interesting to see how that plays out with that sort of team. Very old school style. I remember that from the 5-star era where you had a lot of strong characters work quite nicely. I do like the fact that he doesn't have a weapon attached. This does make a big difference in terms of, you know, just being able to instantly use him. If you are someone who is a veteran who's got your weapons built up already, this is great for you. But I wouldn't say this is a priority damage dealer. There are obviously better individuals, but he could be part of a very nice team long term. The main downside of him is the fact that he is a 66 AP character, so he will always require an 8% weapon for that first sort of round of rushes. And the second round of rushes, he will not get in time by my calculations. So he'll have to be attacked by somebody somewhere to get that extra AP. But there are other characters in the game that have AP manipulation, even in the Mythic era, where they give characters AP based on their passives, based on their rushes. Characters like Wayland, who obviously I think is going to have quite great potential in a team with Dexter. But those are my thoughts on Dexter. Please give me yours in the comments down below. But that is the end of this video. If you did enjoy it or find it informative, please hit the like button. Very much appreciated, guys. I want to thank you all for tuning in. And as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.